Hello everyone, welcome back to Country View Acres. So my name is Evan, and behind me is our garden area. This is a garden area that we started last year, and our goal was to build half our garden last year. So we've got two sides pretty much done with raised beds, and we've got fence posts around two of the sides as well. So to finish it up this year, we need to get this thing fenced in to keep the dogs and the wildlife out of the garden. So that's what we're planning on doing today. We're planning on doing the fencing for the garden today. So I've got several posts that I need to put around two of the sides. So hopefully we'll get those put in first. Hoping to use the tractor. It did rain all day yesterday, so it may be a little bit muddy. Hopefully I can get the tractor in here and auger out all the holes for the posts. I don't want to have to hand auger each one of those, but it may come to that. So let's go ahead and start laying out where our posts go and start getting those in the ground. So just got done setting the posts on the back two sides back there. And we're gonna have to let the concrete cure on those for a couple days before we can really mess with them. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start messing with the posts that we put in last year, the ones around these raised beds here. And we got to cut them to the proper height, and then we're going to put a 2x4 on the top of the fence. Now that being said, I don't know, this actually goes downhill. So I don't know if you can tell that, but it actually kind of steps down the hill like a little staircase, because we're on very unlevel ground here. So we'll probably do the same with the top of the fence. So the top of the fence will probably stair step down as well and have that same kind of pattern. So this may be a little bit tricky to figure out what the right post height is as we stair step down the hill. But hopefully we can get this all figured out and get all our boards on the top and get it ready for fence. So it's been a couple days now since we started this project, and it rained all day yesterday, and it rained till like 2 o'clock today. So it has been miserable working conditions to try to get anything done out here. You wouldn't be able to tell it right now, right? I mean, the sun came out this afternoon, all the clouds went away. It looks beautiful right now, but didn't get as much done this weekend as I really hoped to. I mean, I really was hoping I'd have a good 3 days of work in here and have this all fenced in. It didn't happen. But we did get out here in the rain and do some work. Didn't film it because didn't want to get the camera equipment wet, you know, but we did straighten the garden up. We did a lot of picking up, and the garden area actually looks fairly good right now. And we've got all the posts, we've got them cut off at the right height. We've got most of our boards on the top that mark the top of the fence. And you can see how the boards do stair step down, and they follow, you know, this hill kind of downhill, and I think it's looking fairly good. I'm 3 boards short though, so I got 3 boards over here on this side that when I set my posts, they were off just a little bit. So an 8-foot board ended up being like 1.5 inches short from fitting. So I got to go back and get 10-foot boards so that I can finish this side over here. So a little disappointing, but that's how it goes, right? So other than that, I think we are close. We are ready to almost put fencing up. We may end up putting, so we got these raised beds down here. We may end up putting some more boards along the bottom on this side for a couple more raised beds. But other than that, I think we are pretty much ready for fencing. So the way we've got this all laid out, there's an opening right here. That's going to have a gate in it so we can walk right to our houses right over here. So this is the gate closest to the house. There'll be another little doorway over here on this side that'll walk out to the water hydrant so you can turn the sprinkler on or whatever. And then another thing I want to keep in mind is going to be, you know, I may want to be able to get a tractor in here, and to get in here maybe once a year or every couple of years and maybe till it up. So I'm going to have to end up, you know, keeping that in mind when I hang the fence. I'll have to put the fence up in a way that I can easily unfasten it and roll the fence back, and be able to get a tractor in here. Now the top boards, they just screw down, so you could unscrew them and take a top board off pretty easily. It'll be the fencing that'll be the trick, right? To be able to fasten it down and be able to take it loose fairly easily so that you can get a tractor in. So that'll be something that I keep in mind, you know, when we come back and put the fencing on. So we just ended up hitting our last frost date like a few days ago, and so it is like the time to start planting. So I need to get this done so that I can move on to actually planting the rest of the garden. And I need to get it done because of the dogs. The dogs are just, they're terrible. I mean, they just chase each other around, and they love to run through these garden beds. And most of them are planted, and they keep on stomping all my plants. So I have got to get this fenced in to keep the dogs out. They're definitely the worst thing for the garden right now. But anyway, I think that's it for today, guys. A little disappointed I didn't get it all done, but we'll come back in the next video and hopefully get at least the fencing on, and somehow keep the dogs out of this garden. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
What are you doing? Evan's trying to build. You can't take off with his stuff. Look at this. It's a mess. Yeah. Oh.